Done. The plane encountered a bird strike. Hello, I am the motorcycle repairman for planes. Got some work tonight. Those who watched my last video know, even far away this engine, you could smell a fishy stench. It was so unbearable it made you want to cry. Then, near the fan blades of this engine, we found a large piece of bone. It's confirmed to be a bird strike, no doubt. The engine hit a bird. It could cause a serious safety incident. So tonight we need to be extra vigilant. Let's give it a thorough inspection. First, let's take a look around. Understand the general situation of the bird strike, including the location and area. Check if it entered the inner duct or surrounded the intake. After looking around, I didn't see any bloodstains or other bird tissue traces. Then check the leading edge of the fan blades. See if there are any nicks. Check for cracks or notches. Also, don't forget the lip of the intake. When a bird strike is discovered landing, what's the first thing we do? Of course, report it to insurance. Call the airport's bird control department to collect bird tissue. Ask the crew about the altitude the bird strike occurred. If in bird control team's area, then if the engine is damaged, we'll seek compensation from them. The smell of blood, disgusting. Put a gas mask over the entire mask. You won't smell it. You don't know until you look. Once you look, it's shocking. I'm currently positioned at the engine's outer duct, looking from the back to the front. It's undoubtedly a giant meat grinder. The outer ducktail exhaust area is scattered with pieces of flesh and limbs, but upon careful observation, has noticed that almost all the bird remains are hitting the thrust reverser blocker doors. What does this mean? It means there's a high possibility that after the thrust reverser was opened, a bird strike occurred at the fan intake. The bird remains were blown backward, and due to the obstruction of the thrust reverser blocker doors, they stayed on these blocker doors. If we find any damage during the inspection, the airport's bird control team won't escape responsibility. The likelihood of a bird strike occurring internally is very low, but we need to conduct a thorough inspection. Check for unusual ducktail exhaust. I don't smell any barbecue scent, just a strong stench of blood. The preliminary inspection ends here. We've taken photos and evidence, and the airport's bird control team finished their work. Let's proceed to the next step, which is cleaning. Why is the rain getting heavier and heavier?
I can't even tell if it's rain or sweat on my face.
When cleaning the blood and remains of such wild animals, the first thing is to protect yourself well. Do not let your skin come into direct contact. This old actor, everyone should recognize it. You can tell it was cut by the fan blades into these bone cross sections. This type of engine with a protrusion, most of the tissue remains at the front, are all struck onto this protrusion. It's relatively easy to clean, but for the outlet guide veins of the external duct, what impact can a small feather have? Most people might think it doesn't matter, but we must strictly ensure work quality, and it must be cleaned thoroughly, even though it's hard to reach. At this point, the entire arm goes through the fan blades to clean. You need to be mindful of your safety, especially the leading edge of the fan blades. Due to wind erosion, can become jagged like a saw. It's very easy to cut your skin. Look, my arm has been scraped red. After a series of cleanings, we have basically determined the approximate location of the bird strike. It should be on the inside of the boss to the outside of the ducts. Because we found bird feathers at the root of the blade, which might be contamination caused by the initial impact splatter. This means we might need to bore scope the inner duct. Finally finished cleaning, a visual inspection. All the fan blades are in normal condition. Cleaning is done, but it's actually just the beginning. We haven't conducted our detailed inspection yet. There are too many places to check. The bird strike was on the right engine, but we can't just check the right engine. Many birds appear in flocks. We need to widen the inspection range, including rear of engine, the horizontal stabilizer at the tail of the wing, and almost everything around it needs to be checked. The bird strike inspection card is the most complex work card I've ever signed in my life. There are several mandatory inspection areas where no matter where the bird strike occurs, you must check them every time. This includes the aircraft's radome and the slats. So let's continue to prepare, first by inspecting the wheels and landing gear, then continue to check the flaps at the rear of the engine exhaust. And these canoe fairings, after deploying the slats, inspect the upper surface of the leading edge slats. Then carefully check its lower surface. Check no problem. Continue to look at the flaps. Pay special attention to the trailing edge position of the engine exhaust, and then its upper surface. This thing is something few people have seen. It is the key to the engine, and it's different from a traditional key. We'll talk about using the key later. First, let's open the engine cowling, the fan cowling, and the thrust reverser cowling. Check that all components appear normal, ensuring there are no abnormalities. Since the thrust reverser cowling is already open, and the borescope personnel are in place, let's take a deeper look inside. The main focus is to check if the compressor blades are damaged. This is the image transmitted by the borescope. Fortunately, there is no internal damage. Bird hit didn't penetrate inside. Just when everyone thought it was a close call without danger, a scare still came. Discovered after cleaning, there is a dent on the leading edge of the OGV blade. And there are many dents in the middle of the blade's back. We're in trouble. Let's take a short break. Wipe the sweat off foreheads. Prepare for AOG. Do you remember when I was cleaning now? My arm got scratched. Life is precious. Quickly get some disinfectant. Follow me. We'll replace the OGV later. See you.